Yah-Israel, hear this, right? Hear about white people and black people, right, in the world today. How much they love devil, system of Satan. The two of them, right? Here's my challenge to any white man or black man, right? Anybody, yeah? Any religious leader, pope, anybody. Try and find anybody in this world today, pope, religious leaders, politicians, black people, white people, anybody, because they talk plenty. Try and find anybody at all, that can establish the holy system of the Almighty. Now you know, right, that the Almighty only taught the Israelites, Yah-Israelites, how to establish his holy system and laws. He only taught them, nobody else in the world. So from then till now, no other nation knows, only the Yah-Israelites, about his laws and his holy system. Because the world today, yeah, it's still the seed of the serpent, right, that's Genesis, and to carry on that seed, run it right to Revelation, it now turns into the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet, and all the people that follow their religious systems. Right? So all the people. So you got the dragon. This is book of Revelation. You got the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. They're Trinity. Right? And it goes from the seed of the serpent to the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. Mark of the beast 666 and all of that. The pagan calendars, 19 pagan gods on their calendar. You know? From January to December, from Sunday to Saturday, 19 pagan gods minimum. So that tells you straight away who they are and what they're all about. They can't establish the system of the Almighty is what I'm trying to say. You can quote the Bible all day long, every day of life, and they still can't do it. There's a million and one things you can say about any race of people, about them not following or obeying the Almighty. There's so much things you can say. But when people think they know something, they know what? What do they know? I'm in a European, right, Roman Empire, devil system right now. Right? It's nearly 2019, nearly. Right? So I'm in their Roman Empire, devil system right now. As I'm talking to you, I know it's a Roman Empire, devil system, and based on devil knowledge, sin, death, and decay, and it's satanic. I know all that. So there's nothing no white man can tell me, and there's nothing no black man can tell me that changes that fact. How many times they try and poison me or poison me? How many times they brutalize me? You wouldn't know by looking at me. But if you examined me, like a medical examination, you'd find out there's all sorts of things wrong with me or other people because of the brutality. If you search, but you're not going to, you just take people at face value. But what I'm trying to say is, if my people need the truth, if you go to John, right, book of John, New Testament, book of John, chapter 1, verse 12 and 13, and you read what the Messiah said about him giving them the power to become children of the Almighty. Because that's why they brutalized him, because of the work he was doing to give people the power. Then and now, if you want power to be a child of the Almighty, because they don't teach it in schools. No religion teaches it. I'm telling you read it for yourself. I'm not making it up. It's there. Read it for yourself. So the book of John, chapter 1, verse 12 and 13. Read it for yourself. That's the work the Messiah taught the early church. That's why they destroyed the true religion, the true faith, the early church. That's why they destroyed all them, and martyred all them apostles, because of what the Messiah taught them about them having the power to become children of the Almighty. Because those serpent seed children in Genesis and in the book of Revelation, and now the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet, all them devil seed children don't want to see children of the Almighty. They don't want to see Yah-Israel. They don't want to see black people have spirit and truth. They don't want all that. Don't think any religion does. They don't. That's the great deception. That they do all their spiritual nastiness to my people, and my people don't have a clue what's going on. It's not no fault of us that know something, or we're learning and we're teaching each other, receive all the truth from the Almighty. It's not, anyone's fault in that sense. But they've got a Roman Empire system that's based on a dragon, serpents, all kind of spiritual evil. And they're all, and in a gist, they're all enemies of the Almighty. So they want a one world government, a new world order. So they can fight against the Messiah. So they can fight against the Almighty. All the religions of the world are in on that. All of them are. And the governments. So the Pope is the conductor, the maestro. When he does his sticks to the choir, it's the Pope doing it. Right? When you say the word antichrist or anti-Messiah, right? When they say them words, it means simply somebody that is against the Almighty. And they lie about it. They come out of the early church in the earlies and went and done their own thing in Rome. Constantine, that Roman Empire man there, the emperor, the Western Roman Empire. Constantine, that one day. I can't pronounce his name good and all that. But anyway, he wants to keep his kingdom, so he wants to adopt a religion. So they call the early church at that time, in the book of Acts, Christian. But the Jewish authorities in the times of the Messiah earlier, they called it the sect of the Nazarenes. So it had gone from the sect of the Nazarenes to later on in the book of Acts being called Christian. So that's two separate names. So you check the sect of the Nazarenes, what they called it. This is the Messiah. What he did, his early church. And then later on they called it Christian in the book of Acts. Like, I don't know if it's 100 years later, but it's later. Now you check all that, the history, if you want to be an historian. I ain't going to write a script. I ain't going to go into it like I've got a script ready and I've got all the information ready. I ain't going to do it like that, because if I do a script, this world is finished. Right? Finished. Because I ain't going to play with them. If I did a script, I'll describe their destruction. I'll describe so much things. They'd hate me for it. So I don't want to destroy my people along with them, because the Messiah will do his work in the time he does his work. I know what I've got to do. Right? This is my show. I decide what I decide. The Messiah is over all. Then you've got Paniel in charge of the ministry of repentance. So I can go above any white man in this world. And let me tell you something straight up. The easiest thing in this world to do is to destroy religion. Easiest thing. And I'll tell you why it's so easy. Because all of them are bullshit. I'm just saying it straight. They all are. Why? Because the Almighty only taught and told the Yah-Israelites of old, his system, the only race of people. That's why their religions are bullshit. Because they're the only ones that know the truth. Nobody else. You can hear about it. You can be preached it. Like the early church did preach all over the world. And the word did go all over the world. It did, because of the trade routes and books. Even the Chinese heard about it, because the original trading bloc was China, India, Africa, and the Middle East. And all those people in those places. So the message went all over the world. Anyway, basic. So it went into Europe as well. And later on, the Europeans changed up things and took it back to Africa. And then went to the Americas with it. And start preach to the Indians. The Indians already knew about. They already knew about the one great spirit in the sky. So the Indians already knew. Because we traveled the world before a white man could spell white man. Right? Before a white man could come out of his cave and pick his nose good. And pick his bum and scratch his bumhole. We had all that going on before them in the Old Testament. Chinese history and Indian history is deep, it's long. White people are just catching up with what they used to do. Because I'm going to tell you something straight. What many people don't know this. When it comes to India and China, Europe, what you call Europe today, they run the world with this Roman Empire business, yeah? This is something I'm going to tell you, because I'm fed up with white people thinking they're superior. India and China, right, have always been greater and stronger than Europe. Always. Then and now, India and China, they have a greatness that's greater than Europe. Then and now. Africa and the Middle East are not, but China and India always have been. And this is what happened. The white man in Europe, the Romans, like the popes, have to do tricks and sorcery to mash up the Chinese and the Indians. Because they couldn't do it any other way but magic. You know, them magic tricks and black magic and all that. That's how they defeated the Indians and the Chinese. But you see, the Indians and the Chinese don't realize how much spells are being cast on. You know, like the voodoo doll with the pins in? They're still doing all that kind of magic. And it's black magic. And it's satanic. And it's evil spirits and devil. And the devils are invisible. So they go about doing, invisible devil work. And there's evil spirits everywhere. They control people's mind, their mindset. You can see in people's eyes they've got devil in them if you look carefully. When someone talks, you can see the devil talking through their mouth, and you can see the devil looking through their eyes. If you look at people carefully, you can do that. Because when you have a spirit of the Almighty, the devil spirit has to run. It can't be in the same body, right? If someone says, well, they're going to have both in the body, devil spirit and the spirit of the Almighty, they're going to have both spirits in them, then the person will just, bam, implode. You can't have the two spirits together. They don't exist together. They're contrary to each other. It's like gravity. Yeah, they're contrary. It's like night and day. They don't mix at all. So somebody will only have, coming out of their mouth and their heart, devil spirit or a spirit of the Almighty. One or the other. And because people have devil spirit, they can't do anything of the Almighty. They can't do it. So that's how you destroy religion, because they don't have a spirit that's clean enough or pure enough to do anything. None of them. Pope, none of them. And I'm not just saying that. An example. How many people do you know that voted for poverty, unemployment, homelessness, anything bad and horrible in life? How many people do you know voted for that in the last election? How many? Cost of living going up higher. How many people voted for that you know? How many people do you know voted for the prices in the shops going up higher? Or your utility bills going up higher? How many people do you know voted for all that? Right? Let me just answer that. I don't know how many people are going to watch this or hear me say it, but let me say I didn't. But I've got all the poverty that I don't want, so I can only talk for myself. I never voted for it. I never wanted it. That's their devil system. That's their devil system in action. It's a load of bullshit. There is no democracy. There is no choice. When did I choose poverty? When did I choose unemployment? When did I choose to live in a social house? When did I choose to have this lifestyle? When? I didn't. It's forced on me, because that's their devil system. That's what it does. It makes people think they've got something when they haven't. Like I hear about this microchip they're going to put in people's hands, in the right hand and all this, and you scan it. What about the tramp on the street that ain't got nothing? What are they going to put in his hand? He hasn't got nothing anyway. What about all them people in prison? What have they got? What about all them people in mental institution? What about all them children abused every day? What about all the evil that's going on in the world, like warfare? You get what I'm trying to say? People want chip in their hand. And look how much people are suffering. What do they gain by putting some rice grain crap size thing in their hand? And it's only devil, mark of the beast business. Right? You see what I'm saying? It's like this world is satanic. It doesn't matter what I say and how I say it. It's satanic. calendars. You name something that's not satanic. You name something that's not devil knowledge. You name something that's not devil system. Go ahead, try. Reply to me. Tell me some bullshit. Look at the Bible. All the names of the Almighty taken out. Because the devil don't like hearing the name of the Almighty. So he telling white people when they copy it out, get rid of that name. Because the devil tell them to do it. Now, if my people printed a Bible and put all the names back in there correct, and they made their own Bible, it'll be better than the crap that the Europeans have done. Why? Because it'll be full of more information, pictures, maps, details, the proper wording. We don't speak like that they printed that Bible, thee and thou. We don't speak like that. And it's our book. It's our kingdom. Now, I say it's our kingdom, right? And it says, look, when you say the Almighty, yeah? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come and thy will be done. It says thy will be done. It doesn't mention democracy and having a vote on it. It says straight away, thy will be done. So that's the first thing. There is no democracy. It's thy will be done. Yah-Israel, our kingdom come, Yah will be done. Right? So it's the Almighty. No democracy. That's how I know these people are not what they claim to be, whether they say Khazars and the Jews. I know it's false and it's fake. And I know every religion's the same. Because they don't know nothing. It says, love the Almighty and love your neighbor as yourself. Right now, that's a holy system straight there. Love. How can you love somebody when you only have a devil spirit inside of you? Or devil knowledge? Or devil system? And that's all you can do. How then can you love the Almighty? How? The Almighty chose the Israelites. The Israelites didn't choose him. Now, this is something I'm going to say. That if a man's an Israelite and he is a real Israelite, 12 tribes of Israel, when the 12 tribes of Israel return back to the Almighty, they return with this mouth, they use the mouth to return to him and tell him they're not going to break his commandments no more. They're not going to break his covenants no more. They're going to obey him. His will be done. When they do that, now I'm going to tell you something. I'm being serious. This world bullshit satanic system is finished the day they do that. The day they do it. The same day they do that. This world system, Roman Empire, Greek Empire, Persian and Medes and Babylonian, whatever empire it is finished the day they do that. So guess what? The world don't want that to happen at all. So that's how I know they're not the true people when they say the Jews. If a man said to me he's a Jew and he's wailing at the wall, what's that? It's nothing. It's nothing. You think them prayers they're doing is going to go any further than their nose? Them devil prayers. No further than their nose. All them Khazars, Rothschilds that say they rule the world and they put the price up. For who? Satan. That's for who? Dragon, beast and false prophet. All Europe and black people joining in, and you've got all these celebrities and all these devil-minded type of people in Hollywood. Transgenders and all the rest of it. There are no gay people in the kingdom of the Almighty, not one. It's either repent or you're out. You can't do them foolishness in that kingdom. That's how I know, again, they're not the people. There is no child abuse in the kingdom of the Almighty. There is no crime in the kingdom of the Almighty. There is no devil system, no devil knowledge, no nothing of Satan in that kingdom. Nothing at all. No flesh and blood even, if you want to go that far. Why? Because of devil. Come on. Who wants that crap? We want a referendum on it. Who wants that crap in the kingdom? The Almighty don't. He wants to get rid of all the evil. That's what he wants to do, get rid of all of it. And he tells his angels the same thing. So a white man or a black man wants to say they're doing this and they're doing that in the kingdom because they feel like it. They're not going to never see it. You have to be a certain type of person pleasing unto the Almighty. If you're not in tune with him and his ways, his holy system, the Messiah, Moses, wisdom, faith and charity, right? All the ones them in heaven and above the heavens, if you're not part of the Almighty's setup, and you're full of his words and his knowledge and his ways, his spirit, his power, if you're not full of all of him, you'll never see his kingdom. So I'm not stressing my head who's going to be there and who's not. I know who's going to be there and who's not. A coward won't be there. Someone that's scared to stand up for the Almighty's ways. And if I'm scared, oh, I better not preach the word of the Almighty. If I'm like that, then I know what's going to happen to me. If I'm sinful and nasty and the worst wretched thing in the world, I know what's going to happen to me. I don't need no one to tell me. But here's the thing. I said John chapter 1, verse 12 and 13. Look for yourself where the Almighty says he's giving people the power to become children of the Almighty. Now, does that sound like I'm siding with devil system to you? It's in the book. But I'm telling you now, seriously, it is easy if you know what you're doing to destroy any religion. Any. And politics. But you see, in the end times, I know that the armies of this world will put up a fight and they're going to lose. They're going to lose. Straight away, they don't stand a chance against the Messiah, number one, nor his angels. Don't stand a chance because you don't know what you're up against. Satan don't stand a chance. It's not just written in the book. It's going to be brutal for Satan. The Almighty can give me power to mash up Satan tomorrow morning if he wanted to. That's up to him. He can give me power right now to do it. That's up to him. That's how Satan's finished. The Almighty can do as he please. But he is merciful, long-suffering. He can done Satan anytime. And evil spirits. And all the nastiness. He can destroy everything and start again if he wanted to. Who can stop him? But let me say, I know he is forgiving. I know he is. He's helped me plenty. And I honestly can't remember how many times. There's a whole heap. And he showed me plenty of things. So I know what I know. And I know the early church knew as well. So when it comes to Yah-Israel, in the future, not too far from now, there will be a kingdom. And it won't be any little silly person think they can run it. There won't be no European in charge. There won't be no Khazars and Rothschilds and all the bullshit of this world. None of that. None of the religions, none of that. It's either you're a child of the Almighty, like the Messiah said in John chapter 1. Yeah, you got it. 12 and 13. Right? If you're not there doing that, you'll never see the kingdom of the Almighty. Straight. So how many devil people are going to do that? I'll tell you how many. None of them are. What gay church? What devil church? What transgender church? None of them are going to do that because you think the Almighty is going to give them the power to do all that. You have to first go to the Messiah. And he vets people. He examines everybody. And if he finds one thing wrong, you better fix that first before you go and look for him. He examines people's hearts and minds to see if they're loyal to the Almighty or not. Yeah, him. Him one. And then you got Paniel. He's another one. And you got Raphael. And you got Michael and Gabriel. And all that, and Uriel. And you got all the rest of them. The Almighty trusts certain people to do his will. And you can learn. And it's of the Almighty. Not no white man. Not no black man. It's of the Almighty himself. The Almighty gives to people. You wouldn't know what the Almighty gave me. You wouldn't know what he told me. How are you going to know? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm sitting here knowing something I know. All right, I'll give an example. The Almighty can show me anytime he likes his endless realm and his creation light in his endless realm. And his endless realm is pitch black. Now he can show me that anytime he likes. And I'll marvel when he does. Right? And when he has. I'll marvel because, I've seen something. And I'm thinking, whoa, what's all this? Now, I know he can do that. I know he can do that. His endless realm, endless space, you look down, pitch black. You look up, it's grey. And just above, like, so like 45-degree angle like that. There's the light above there. The light is above there, that way. There's the light. So you can see it. So you're thinking you're coming from a direction like that and going that direction. So you're thinking you come from down to up. So you're trying to work out where you are. And you have a look around and you're trying to work out things. Now that's the Almighty, that's his power. So if he shows somebody eternity, then that's his business. And it says in Jeremiah, right? Chapter 23, verse 24. Do I not fill the heavens and the earth? And when you're in his outer darkness, you can see clearly that he does. There's the creation light. There's his light giving birth to light. And you can see it. It looks like the moon on a dark night, but it's endless space. And it's big, massive. So what am I just making that up? You name one man in the world that can describe that. Go ahead. Come and tell me you can describe his endless realm. Come and tell me you can do that. I'm not talking about no moon, stars and sun and Jupiter and Mars and all that. Right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his endless space. That's my realm, my business, my thing to say. I can tell my people that all day long. And his creation light. His creation light. But it's still my business to talk it. Because that's my thing. Your thing is, oh, Jupiter and Mars and I'm going to send a probe. That's your thing. It's not my thing. I'll make my people hear something bigger than that little childish talk. Childish. It's childish to me because the Almighty can show me anything he wants. Anything. This life, next life, whatever. In a book, show me how tall the Messiah is. Show me whatever he likes. That's the Almighty. And there's nobody like him. Nowhere. Not even that much like him. Nobody. There is nothing and nobody like him. Nobody. He can show people things you could not dream about. In his endless realm. Now the Messiah says, well, in the end times, he's going to dash out them useless servants into the outer darkness. Well, the outer darkness is pitch black and there's no creation. No creation at all. So that's what the useless servants have got to look forward to. Now, do I want to be one of them? No, I don't. So I know what the endless realm looks like because it's endless space. There's no top, no bottom. You can't find sides. You can't walk in it, put it that way. Right? You can't walk anywhere because there's nowhere to walk to. It's pitch black. And he's the only one that creates, the Almighty, the only one that creates his creation light in that realm. His endless realm. Nobody else does. Nobody else does. So I'm saying to my people now, yeah? Don't worry about white man and black man. Right? Don't even bother think about them because everything you know in this world is useless when you're there. You go in his endless realm and everything you know on this planet, you know in this planet now, everything you know don't exist. It's like they say the flat earth and a man sends a rocket up into space and he's looking for a curvature and he don't see it. All he sees is flat. So he's still looking for that curvature, that round. And the land's all on this round globe. And the man sends a rocket up there and he sees flat. All flat. Doesn't matter how high this rocket goes, he sees flat. So why do people lie about a round earth, a flat earth? What are people lying for? Why? Why tell lies? If it's flat or round, why lie about it? What's so important that people have to tell so many lies? Am I lying about his endless realm? I've just described it. Pitch black. And only his creation light is there. And you have to fly because you can't walk. And he has to give you the power to see it and do it. That's the Almighty. He can take people and do whatever. Satan can't. He can. So why do I need to sell my soul to a devil when the Almighty can show me things greater than anything Satan can show anybody? And I'm a nobody. I'm nobody, and he can show me anything. And that's what upsets me about people when they talk. He can show a nobody like me something so wonderful. And I'm not trying to pretend I'm the big I am. It's not about that. It's about my people knowing this world is full of bullshit. The Almighty can do anything, show you anything. He can make a plant like this, and he can make me. Same. This plant was created before me. Right? The last thing to be created in this world right here, is man. And this plant was before me. And it's a plant. It was here a long time before me, yeah? I was planted in this planet and created last as a species. This plant was before man. And I like plants. And that's my thing. But the thing is, when he creates something, he can create something anywhere. That's the Almighty. He has the power to do all that. And I'm trying to show people that's how he's higher than the heavens. Because his endless realm, oh man, it's scary. Endless. That's how scary it is. It's scary, endless. And it is, you get scared in that realm. But his light is a comfort because you know there's life there. So that's what you're heading for, that light and that life. You know there's life there because he's the only one that creates in it. The devil can't. So nobody like me can see things like that and tell people, and I'm not making it up. The Almighty knows if I'm lying or not. But the thing is, when people talk, and it sounds so childish when they talk, there's no sin, death, and decay in his endless realm. There's none. There's only eternity in his endless realm. Eternity. And he can show me or show anybody else. And I'm telling people, and I'm not making it up, go and ask him to show you. If you're so big, if you're so wonderful, and you so much believe in him, go ahead, ask him. All them people that do love him, he'll show you anything. Because he is full of love and light. Light. Like light. Not like this light here. He's full of light. Real light. Spiritual light. Full. And love. And he knows everything. Everything. Try and surprise him. You can't. He knows everything. Before he created anything, he examined it. All of it. What you're going to say, what I'm going to say. And before we say it, he knows what we're going to say and do. Before we do it. Because he's seen it all. We're only living out what he's already seen. That's what people are doing. Living what he's already seen. So he's seen the whole history of it. And we're living it. He knows everything because he's seen it before he created it. That's his power. Now I can't do that. You know, wow, I can see what I'm going to do next week. I can't do that. But he can show me. Give me an idea. I don't even know what's outside that door. Right? There's a door right there, and I can't even tell you what's outside there. Besides cars and people, I couldn't tell you what's happening out there because I don't know. I'm here now doing this. And people are sleeping. What's the time? It's about 6 in the morning. And I've got a loud voice so people can hear me. And they're sleeping. And I'm doing this early in the morning. Because I'm upset about this world being so satanic. Yeah, I am. And all the history of brutality. You can't tell me about the brutality in this history, in this world. I know about a lot of it and learning more. I'm not getting upset about that because that's how it is. But it will change one day. And the end for Europe is coming. And it's going to come thick and fast. And here's one nigger that can make it worse for people. I can, if I want to. If I want to. Now, that don't mean I'm the big I am, because here it is. I can say things right now that people will say, oh, lock him up in prison. Because I can talk about terrorism. I can talk about Europe's destruction. I can talk about a whole heap of things. All sorts of things. And that's because of my people. We're not like white people in that sense where they're full of devil. We're not like that as a people. So it's hard for me to be like a white man because he's not my teacher, or a black man. He's not my teacher either. So when people are full of devil spirit and devil mind, they'll express it in their heart and in their mind, and it'll come out of their mouth, all that devil nastiness. They'll express it whichever way they can. And I don't like devil spirit and devil mind. If you're talking faith, continence, power, simplicity, innocence, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking about, right, all the powers of the Almighty, right? If you're talking about those powers, oh dear. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's of the Almighty. So if you're doing it and you say it a certain way, right? So if you do it like faith, right? Continence, like power, right? Patience, simplicity, innocence, chastity, cheerfulness, truth, understanding, concord, and charity. If you do it like that, and then wisdom, and the names of the Messiah, and the names of the Father, how then can I be supporting a devil system, and I'm talking like that, things greater than me? So without those spirits, how can anybody please the Almighty with devil mind and devil nastiness and transgender and all the nastiness of Satan? How can anybody please the Almighty in all that foolishness? I'm not no goody two-shoes, but I like to learn. And this is the problem. White people can't teach me nothing with their Roman Empire devil bullshit system. Teach me what? Teach me what? What white man knows how to establish the kingdom of the Almighty or his holy system? Which one knows how to do that? I'm yet to meet one. And I'm not being dissing all them nice people out there, regardless of their colour. Right? I'm not dissing none of them, because they know they're nice. And I like to know they're nice. Yeah? All heap of people know I like nice people. I've got nasty black crackheads out there causing me problems more than anybody in the world. My own kind. More devil than devil. I can name names, but I don't need to, because that's how the world is. Look at the world today, how nasty and satanic it is. Abusing children. They're even raping cat and dog nowadays. I mean, that's how nasty the world's gotten. Never mind about shooting niggers in America. Black people killing babies and, you know, young black girls and drive-by and all the rest of it. How nasty the world is. And that's what the Almighty wants to get rid of in the end times. Just as in the days of Noah. In the days of Noah, it was devil's system just like how it is now. And that got destroyed then. This time it's going to be fire. And when I say fire now, yeah, I'm talking about fire from within. The breath out your own nostrils turns into fire. This, boom, up in flames, pile of ashes on the floor. It comes from within first. You feel how warm your body is, right? It's not, you know, as cold as iron. It's warm. If you blow on your hand, it's warm. Yeah? Well, that fire inside of you, bam, consumes you. Because something's added to it. And it's called your wrongdoing and evil. So because evil is going to get burned up and you're full of it, you're going to get burned up. What do you think an evil spirit's made out of? Let me tell you, give you a clue. It's made out of fire. An evil spirit's made out of fire. Hear what I'm trying to say to you. The Almighty made spirits out of fire. So if you've got an evil spirit in you, that's part of the fire already there. Now he gave man intellect like the angels. So if you don't know how things were made and you don't know what's in you, you don't know what's going to happen to you. So you take an evil spirit which weren't created evil. No, Satan made himself evil by deceiving himself. But what I'm trying to say to you is, how did the Almighty make the spirits? How did he make flesh? You say he make it out the dust of the earth and then breathe into that person the breath of life. So the breath of life is warm. Yeah? So, you know, if you get to think we're full of water, spirits are fire, we're flesh and blood, and we're mixed. Certain compounds and elements make a man up. We're not just one element, we're quite a few elements. I'm not going to go into that, but we are. And one of them is very warm, hot. And spirits have hotter, So if someone's got evil spirits in them, which were made spiritual and out of flames, what do you think is going to happen to people full of those kind of spirits? They're going to, boom, go up in flames. Yeah, you get it? Right. So, careful what's inside of you. Because if you drink something flammable and then you go up in flames, or you have spirits inside of you which are not too pleasant and they go up in flames, what's going to happen to you? Work it out. Don't listen to me. Work it out for yourself. I'm not talking about gin and whiskey and vodka. I'm talking about evil spirits, how they was made. Now, Satan made Satan. Right? The Almighty made good spirits. And devil make himself nasty. I'm just trying to tell you something, just in case you think you're clever. I know how spirits were made. I know how man was made. I know the elements of man. I know all that, but you know, sometimes you have to play dumb, because you know what? When you know too much, people want to kill you off. So sometimes you have to lower it down and use a certain tone to make people think you're thick. Sometimes you have to do that. King David, when he was in the enemy's clutches back in the Bible days, King David, he had to dribble out his mouth and pretend to be a madman. Dribble, dribble. He had to pretend to do that to fool them enemies. And they let him go in the end. But they didn't trust him, because David had to do some acting when he had to do it. Yeah, he knows how to put on a show and fool people. He was dribbling at the mouth, dribbling down his beard and all sorts. And people have to do things in history. Sometimes they don't like doing it, but they have to do it. In the end times, I studied the end times, study. And I ain't an amateur. I study deep. And I keep my mouth shut and just put out a little bit. Because you can't know everything. You can't. You can have a gist of something. You have a twinkling of what's going to happen. But you don't know, bam, what's going to happen. Because that day is unknown. Bam, just like that. You get it. You don't know when it's coming. Bam again. You don't know. It's unknown. You don't know that day, time, or hour. But he says in the days of those kings, in Daniel, in the end times, he will establish a kingdom. And that kingdom will not be left to other people. It's a Yah-Israelite kingdom. The kingdom to come. Because we don't have our own kingdom. We lost our kingdom when we went into slavery and never got it back. Yeah, the kingdom of the Almighty is my people's kingdom. So any punk want to come test me, be careful. Because I'm ready. When I get vexed, this world is in trouble. And the Almighty knows that. If I'm talking about his endless realm and his creation light, what you just work it out. What am I not saying that I know? Because I'm hiding something. And only the clever people will be able to work it out. All them people that are too clever and can figure me out, right? Keep it to yourself, please. I don't want people to know nothing. My name's Robert Roberts, by the way. That's what the name my mother called me. Any other name is secret. And I keep that to myself, so please. Yeah, all right. Here's my big mouth talking like I'm somebody. I'm a nobody. Just remember that. Because a nobody is the least. So that means no one else has got any excuse. That's how I operate. I'm the least in this planet. So anybody else, yeah, don't hear the word of the Almighty. They've got no excuse when they get mashed up. That's how I operate. Now, I'm going to say, shut up, Robert. Don't say no more because you're getting all carried away. But this world is in serious trouble. Serious. And that's why I'm sat here doing this. It's so bad. I need to tell people best way I can. And I'm doing it out of love for my people. Love for my people. Hear that? I'm not no white man and I ain't no black man. Love for my people. Yah-Israel. Yah-Israelites. Love for them. That's me. Now my mother, she from since me young baby, she teach me certain things, Bible. She taught me the book of Revelation. As a baby, you see the pictures and you remember things. Right? You remember things when you're young as a child. But my mother started me off. All praises unto the Almighty for my mama. Teacher Mary, Antigua, Erling's village. 12 tribes of Israel. And me and my mum, you can just imagine the conversations we had. She had a son like me. And just how I'm talking now, that's how me and my mum used to chat. Same way. No different. Yeah. Feel that. You can talk to your mother like that. Who you this? Who's superior than who? Rest up, KKK. You know what? You know what? I'll keep quiet because the KKK's got something coming for them. And so a lot of other people. My people in the armed forces, yeah? Don't let the Almighty catch you being with these people when they come. Don't collaborate with them. Don't be a traitor. Don't be a covenant breaker. Don't do anything like Judas. Nothing like that. Stick to your own people. When the time comes, you'll know when the time comes because you'll get warning. Leave them. Let them get the licks on their own. Don't join in their brutality and licks they're going to get. Because everything they dish out, they're going to get. And I'm warning my people in the armed forces, them do you any evil, go to your own people and tell them. Don't bother tell them because they don't care. Go to your own people and tell them. Because that way you'll get somewhere. Don't tell them nothing. I'm telling my people here, I don't care who sees this. If you're not my people, you ain't no business of mine. Our kingdom will come. Yah will be done. It's our kingdom. We don't get cheated out of it, defrauded. Do I sound like they're going to take the kingdom from me or from you? Do I sound like that? Do I? Do I look like I'm joking or trying to shape or going to sell out? You know, do you see that? If you do, let me know. Because sell out ain't in my DNA. It ain't. This life or the next, it ain't in my DNA. There's plenty of it in my DNA, all sorts of things, but that ain't one of them. Hollywood, all them celebrities, they're in deep shit, all of them. I can talk like a soldier if I need to. I ain't one, but I can talk like one. I can tell you about warfare. 1,000 years from now, because you've got World War III, and 1,000+ years after that, you've got World War IV. That's for people that think I don't know nothing. World War III to come, and then there's World War IV, 1,000+ years after that. Yeah? 1,000 years, that's a long time. You know, long gone by then. But it's 1,000 years after World War III. And World War III is brutal. And not many people survive it. It can be really bad, or it can be just a slap on the wrist. It ain't going to be no slap on the wrist. Not with the history the Vatican's got. And America. It ain't no slap on the wrist. That it ain't. And all them people that think they're powerful, the Almighty is powerful. What did the Messiah say? Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I'll rise it up. And no one understood what he's talking about. They said it took how many years to build that temple? And you're going to raise it up in 3 days. They didn't have a clue what he was talking about. As in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the Son of Man, the Messiah, the Son of the Holy Creator, Yah-Israel. One love, Yah-Israel. Peace. Shalom.